What's up, guys? Welcome to a live reaction to the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PC trailer. Here's the thing. I've seen this. I've known about this. I got an email and I lost my mind, you guys. This is one of those things that I wish I wasn't spoiled on from PR and understanding things like going on in the background. I wish that I was able to live react to this in a press conference, but it's okay because you guys haven't seen this yet. So we're gonna watch it all together. We're gonna talk. I actually got to interview the people making this game, so I got a couple of fun little tidbits here and there to throw in.
I'm gonna have a lot of questions for you.
Okay, good. I got a lot of answers.
I don't know shit.
I'm Tim Gettys. The guy that doesn't know shit is Blessing Adeoye Jr. And of course,
I'm so excited.
Barrett Courtney.
Yeah,
we're doing Tony Hawk. We need the man here for it. You know what I'm talking about?
Let's go. I'm so excited.
Let's go. Kev, you ready to play this?
Yep.
Let's do it. That's deck, dude.
Yes.
Warehouse, baby.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
School 1.
Hell yeah. This is fucking the soundtrack already is kidding me.
The Revert, Tony Hawk 3.
Hell yeah. Is that high school?
Yeah, School 1.
Oh yeah. Got some Primus in there. Let's go.
Papa Roach.
Cut my life into pieces.
My last resort.
Ooh, yes. I'm into it.
Let's be, baby.
Oh, the classic 900. Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Holy crap, man. Hell yes.
What a trailer. Oh my
the warehouse
God.
demo? Let's go, man.
Yeah, apparently in the summer. A warehouse demo coming for people that pre-ordered the digital version. Very exciting stuff. What do you guys think?
Dude, I'm all in. Like as soon as I heard about a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake or remaster, whatever you want to call this, right? Like those are the only words that I really need to get me sold. Seeing it and knowing that it's done by Vicarious Visions, I'm all the way in. Like I'm all the way in on this.
That's completely insane. That it's the team that did the Crash Bandicoot.
Completely insane.
Yeah, it's like an insane trilogy, guys. And it actually makes really good sense because that team knew how to take a very treasured IP like Crash Bandicoot and bring it into a modern setting and give all the love that the fans wanted it. And so it's really cool to see them get attached to a Tony Hawk's remaster because you know that they're going to put a lot of care into it. And just seeing from the trailer, it looks really cool. Oh man, I'm so just seeing the split screen and seeing a little bit of the UI back. Like most of the trailer didn't really have the UI on it, but oh man, I'm so in.
Yeah, split screen seems cool. Like that's something that I'm actually surprised would make its way back because that's one of those things where I feel like if they let that go, people would understand because you don't necessarily see split screen making like appearances nowadays. I'm curious about what the online multiplayer is. If it is just like the modes that we had back in the day, like are we gonna have online graffiti? Graffiti was my fucking
yes, let's go, man.
Dude. Like I'd be super into that. If they add I can't remember if Slap or Smack, whatever it was, if that was in the first 2 or if that made its debut in 3.
That was later.
Was that later on?
I want to say that might have been Underground or
I think
4.
It was Underground.
Yeah.
Oh, would have been Underground?
Yeah.
Either way, like I'm curious to see the modes they have for online because I used to absolutely love multiplayer for Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I know that's not like the main attraction, but dude, I'm totally down to go back for especially because those really have online.
The Pro Skater games, one of the first games ever on the PlayStation 2 online service.
3?
Yeah. Being able to
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3?
Yeah, being able to use the network adapter to play online, like that was a very big deal. It didn't play that well, but 4 was iconic. Like 4 online, like was definitely a thing on PlayStation 2. while Xbox obviously had Halo 2 like being the flagship, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 on PlayStation was one of the bigger deals. That and probably Final Fantasy 11, I would say, were like two of the higher end experiences. But watching this, I am extremely excited, man. Like I am one of the biggest Tony Hawk fans ever, like from every single game, and including some of the bad ones. Like I was looking forward to 5 so much, and as bad as that was, and it was horrible. You guys can watch my review on youtube.com.
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, man. Like it's a bad game. And looking at this, it doesn't have any of those features. It doesn't have the like weird magnetic like pull down.
Yeah, press triangle. Yeah,
exactly. Like it looks like it feels how Tony Hawk's supposed to. And my favorite thing about it is Tony Hawk's not supposed to feel like Tony Hawk 1 or 2. Like that's the weirdest thing about this is the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 have now been remade on every generation we've had. So these games came out on the PlayStation 1 generation, right? Tony Hawk 2X came out on the Xbox. Right. So next gen past that, and that was a collection of 1 and 2. Then on the PS3 and 360, we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD.
Yeah.
That was a mix of 1 and 2. And now we're getting this. 2X on the Xbox was great. Tony Hawk's HD had a lot of issues because it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
This looks like it feels right. I won't know until I get my hands on it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty stoked about this because everything they're saying when it comes to the music, when it comes to levels, getting all the skaters back, like this really looks like a love letter to what THPS is. And it's made by the guys that did Insane Trilogy, that did Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. They give fucks about this. Absolutely. And that's all that I really need.
Yeah, no, that's really dope. When you say all the characters are coming back, like are all the skaters coming back from 1 and 2, or were there some that they had to cut?
They're all back.
Like they're all back.
Bob Burnquist is back, and he's missed a couple of the games.
Right. Is Kareem Campbell back?
Kareem Campbell's back.
God.
Let's
go. That's all I need to hear.
On top of this trailer, I also got some B-roll like that they sent over that's just pure gameplay, and I'm shocked. Like it looks
really
perfect. Like it looks right. Like it really, really looks like they are trying to nail what we remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater feeling like. And testaments to that are the fact that reverts are in this. Reverts were introduced in Tony Hawk 3, and they're in this game. And there's one shot in this trailer that you actually see Steve Caballero, I think, do it. And that is necessary because that opened the world so much. We got spine transfers from 4. Yes. We have the
God, I love them.
The wall jump offs, so you can just like jump at the wall and like go 180 backwards.
Is that like the
wall
sticker thing that they?
It's kind of like the sticker slab a little bit.
Yeah,
same mechanic. That's in this. And also all of the flat ground tricks that were introduced. Manuals were in 2. And Chad Muska, I think, had one trick that was like a special move. But in 3 was when they really went all out with like the Casper slide and all that stuff. And
let's go. Let's get my boy Rodney Mullen in here doing all the flat tricks. Let's go. I'm so excited.
Exactly. Right. So I did an interview with Vicarious Visions about this last week and kind of went through like asking them like, so what did you change? What did you try to keep? And they were like, we're trying to make it authentically feel the way that you remember these games feeling, even past 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 are iconic, but they were lacking the features and the gameplay and momentum that the future games had that people hold so near and dear to their hearts. And in addition to the soundtrack and levels and skaters, that stuff's obvious, but they're nailing that as well in a way that we haven't really seen in a very long time.
So that's really exciting.
Do we think like, was this the game? Because there was that band that had like kind of leaked a Tony Hawk game earlier this year. And we saw like Kevin, I don't know if you can scroll to maybe find that shot with the list of bands that are coming back. So my question is of like, if they're going to try to get as much of the original soundtrack as possible, but are they also going to be adding like new bands and stuff? Because is this the game that band's like leaked or whatever? Yeah, there you go. All right, so
they're not on this. These are all bands from 1 and 2.
Yes.
So talking about the soundtrack is interesting because Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD that came out last gen was also a semi remaster of 1 and 2. It mixed levels from both of them, and
Mhm.
the soundtrack, if I remember correctly, it was 14 songs, and 7 of them were from 1 and 2, and 7 of them were new. And the
Gotcha.
new songs were trying to, introduce people to music the way that Tony Hawk Pro Skater always has.
Which I would be super down for this one, of like a good
Me too.
combination of like stuff from the past. Like we got Goldfinger on here, so we're getting Tim's favorite track from the
Superman,
original.
baby.
And then I would love to, because there's been so much music since like a good Tony Hawk game has come out that people can be introduced to in the
like a good
pop
kind of
punk
like
genre that so many people like associate Tony Hawk and skateboarding to be about, and a lot of cool stuff that I think they could really mix
like
in there.
there have been some like classic skating tracks that I think they could inject into the soundtrack that would have that could allow people to kind of catch up on what the skating kind of culture has been since then, right? Like I think when we first heard about this, I mentioned like Kick Push by Lupe Fiasco, because it was like
there we go.
Yeah, like I think I saw somebody reference Kick Push or something. Like that would be a really cool song to include in here. But yeah, even just alone off of the bands in here, right? Like it looks like they have a very good sampling off of the first couple games.
I mean, my thing with the last game that came out, well, not last, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, notwithstanding, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, that game with its soundtrack that was some classics, but also new ones, I welcomed the new ones so much because they really did nail the tone of what Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtrack should be.
Gotcha.
Like I still have the Spotify soundtrack. You can go on Spotify right now and look up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD and get that playlist. And I loved even the new songs because they feel like old songs, and that's kind of the best part. But they were limited to only 7 songs, and if I remember correctly, it was only 1 from Tony Hawk 1 and 6 more from Tony Hawk 2. Looking at this list, we're already getting more. Like Primus, Dead Kennedys, and Goldfinger. That's all Tony Hawk 1. So I'm stoked about it, that it's like they're really trying to get as much as they can. When I was interviewing them, I was asking them like, are you gonna get them all? And they're like, I'm gonna be real with you, that's the intention. We can't because of licensing, but we are reaching out to every single one trying to get it back.
Hell
I want Dub Pistols, man. Cyclone from Tony Hawk 2. One of my favorite songs ever.
So the question that I have for you, and I don't know like if this was something you asked them for this interview, but because we're seeing features from future games like the revert, the slap, the wall, the spine transfer, should we expect more? Like we're gonna get like the base game is gonna be essentially the first 2 games, right? Like, do we think that they will try to go down and try to release DLC? Like, I'm not super familiar with like Crash Team Racing, which I think Vicarious Visions did. I'm not super familiar.
Crash Team Racing had like original content that they made for it, right? Like I imagine for this, unless their plan is to like, hey, let's also do 3 and 4, which probably could be in the books, but like I would love for them to bring back Airport or like Foundry or Canada or like really any level from 3. Like I'm willing to take. Like that would be a very dope direction for them to go.
So here's the thing. Yes, I expect them to do that. I asked them point blank. I was like, the revert's in this. Like, what are you saying? And like, they're like, we can't say anything more. We're doing this, but we understand what the feel of Tony Hawk should be. And we know that they perfected it in Tony Hawk 4. And I loved hearing them say that because I've stood by that for so long. Like we even talked about it recently, where it's like Tony Hawk 4 is really the game that added the final momentum and gameplay element that worked in the original ecosystem of THPS. Getting off your board and all that stuff was fun for what Thug was.
Yeah.
But spine transfers and flattening yourself out when you went out of vert ramp, that stuff actually helped. And that was added in 4, reverts in 3, manuals in 2, so on. And so the guy, when I was talking to him from Vicarious Visions, he had to be a little bit like, like
we're focusing on this right now. Yeah.
But what he did tell me that I was really excited about, and this is in the PR blast as well, is this is the full Tony Hawk 1 and 2 experience. We're getting all of the levels from those 2 games, all of the challenges from those 2 games, and
let's go.
New challenges. They're adding new elements to this game, and they're going to try to figure out a way to make it feel like a more complete modern experience. I love that. It's like let's build on this because there's so much there. Adding the revert and adding the different mechanics to the earlier games. I mean, even the manual to the Tony Hawk 1 levels throws off the entire base of the score challenges, right? They're trying to figure that out, and they're trying to make this feel like a bit more
balanced and like
balanced of an experience.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like, that's fantastic news. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD did a decent job at all of that, but it had so many issues. Like, that game was just flawed, like from the get-go. But everything I'm hearing is great. And knowing it's this team, you guys are talking about the Crash Team Racing stuff, like Insane Trilogy, they nailed. Yeah, they did such a good job with it. And then they released DLC that was the unfinished levels from the original game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And like, that's awesome. Like, that shows how much passion and care they're trying to put into this. Then they did Crash Team Racing, and it was the original game. They fucking nailed it. And then on top of that, there's been so much DLC for that game. They just kept things out, and a lot of it was it was microtransaction-y and very kind of like,
oh yeah, they did have a weird period of that stuff.
That type of implementation, I'm not standing by. But the content of what they were actually putting out was extremely impressive. And I'm looking at this. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD had DLC that was a Tony Hawk 3 pack that added revert, added Airport, Canada, and LA. If they did it and fucked it up, I imagine these guys are going to do it and nail it. Like, I am so excited that this team's working on this, and everything we've seen, I'm super in for.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited. This is now like one of my most anticipated games this year. This is awesome.
And September 4th, that's not that far. And we're getting the warehouse demo earlier.
Oh God, I'm gonna play that demo so much.
Wait, which one is warehouse? Because I remember as a kid. I remember as a kid playing first level in Tony Hawk 1.
1 is warehouse, 2 is hangar.
Okay, gotcha. Because I definitely played a demo for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on my friend's PC back when I was a kid, and I remember the specific level that I played for that one. That was like a skate park where you could like break into like a thing behind the trees. Whatever. I digress. Either way, I'm very much looking forward to this. September is fucking crazy at this point now because we have Avengers, which we'll see if that comes out in September or not, and then we also have Cyberpunk, which like, what a great month, right?
Yeah.
Like, this kicking it off is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, some facts for you guys here. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be available worldwide for the suggested retail price of $40.
Wow. Okay.
A digital deluxe version that includes unique content and in-game gear will be available for $50. And for the ultimate fan, a collector's edition will be available for the suggested retail price of $100. In the US, complete with a digital deluxe edition and a limited run birdhouse deck.
Oh, damn, dude. That's crazy. That's so exciting.
Yeah, man. I'm so stoked about this. I love everything about this. And literally the one thing that I want is for them to confirm DLC's happening and that we're getting Tony Hawk 3. Like, 4 might be a bit harder because like that changed how the game works in terms of like open world stuff. But 3 is straight up a Tony Hawk game. So I kind of expect it. It's exciting.
No, I would love that. Even if they did do it like, and this is like very much future looking, right? Like, even if it was standalone, but like took the foundation of this, like either way, I want 3. Like 3 being my favorite of like the Pro Skater series. Like, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they implement that, how they implement those levels, whether it is DLC or not.
Yeah. The one thing I'm bummed about is there's no chance we get Spider-Man back in Tony Hawk 2.
Yeah, but here's
hey man,
the thing,
PlayStation version, you never know.
Oh, that's true. Oh man, the possibilities are all opening up, Tim.
Oh yeah, man.
Who knows? Can we get Master Chief in the Xbox version? Let's go.
Dude, if they did that would be fantastic.
That would be so cool. I don't think they would, but that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Never say never, soft. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our reaction to the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 reveal. Very, very, very excited about all of it. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this and what you want to see from it. Stay tuned for way more stuff from the Summer Game Fest here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames.